What's happening, gang? How's everybody doing? Good to see you all. Good to be seen. Thomas says, Lucha's restaurant menus always make me hungry. Yes. Well, on the screen, I didn't have time to cook, bro. I apologize. What a week. What a week plus. Damn. Yeah, I didn't really, and I didn't have much appetite, so I put up Mohammed's breakfast that he sent me this morning. Looks like he had some locked hen toast. So looks delicious. We'll go with Mo. Thank you, Mo, for contributing to the breakfast streams. So yeah, what a week. Missed last week. Thought I was gonna be better sooner. I was in the hospital for a little bit. I serious bodily collapse, infection, just fucking ridiculous bullshit going on. And all of a sudden, boom, we're like back in the hospital. Horrible fevers, horrible leg infection. But the fever broke and we started to get the infection under control, and it's about 85% better. It still hurts like hell. I need to go over to the pharmacy today and pick up another prescription of antibiotics, a stronger one. But on the bonus side, they said we're going to give you a probiotic too, because this will probably cause you. And I have a little bit of diarrhea. I was like, well, you guys are full of good news. But yeah, so we're feeling better. We're on the way. But wow, got out of the hospital yesterday. Figured I'd come on here with you guys and rip the Band-Aid off of the last of the IVs. Ooh, blood, yay. Look at my hospital bands on. Should probably cut those off. I don't know. I can't find my scissors, and they're like impossible to tear. So, hate that shit. But we are on the road to recovery and feel a little better. How's my audio? I tweaked my Yeti microphone, so hopefully that's working. I have a guest. He's got keys. He's not really even a guest. He's just sort of like a... He disappears. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Mark.
How are you?
Well, I'm better than you are.
Yeah, there you go.
At some stuff.
No, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. We need. I'm very concerned. Do we have proof of life on Sherman?
Sherman is alive.
Okay.
Driving my mother insane, but yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Good.
Sherman's alive. I'm sure at some point we'll hear Shadow crying outside the door. Yeah. All the usual suspects are still here. But we've got lots of people in the chat. And we've even got, let's just start from the beginning again here real quick. We got Tim G. Says, little bird, you told me. He says, I'm glad you're better. Thank you. Andy Louie, our favorite Andouille. He says, howdy, y'all. I'm glad to have you back. Thank you, guys. It's good to be back. We got Goldfinger in the chat. Good to see Goldfinger. Always. Thomas Burnett. Always a good man to have around. BW. Good morning. This is nice having you here, mate. Mo, whose breakfast is on the screen, sent me breakfast. Thank you for sending me your breakfast shot, because I didn't make one. Welcome back, Mark. Great to see you live again. Yes. Roxy, welcome back, Lucha. Hope all is well. Yeah, it'll be well. It just took a while, a lot longer to get there than I thought it was going to. Held Strand says, congratulations on being selected as private chef for Pope Leo the 14th. Yes. Says, sorry to hear that you've not been well, Mark. Hopefully you're feeling better now, my friend. Yeah, it's getting there. It's just still painful. Brian, it hurts.
Yeah.
holy shit. Like, I had to keep the leg elevated, and I didn't do much of anything this week. I mean, I laid around a lot, slept a lot. Somebody said, "Oh, it's nice you got a week off." I'm like, I slept most of it.
Huh.
My body was in such a state of shock that my white blood cell count was really elevated, like to around 16,000 or 16,
Wow.
whatever. And so they were like, "Oh, that was obviously if you looked at my leg, it was almost dark red at one point, and just so puffed up." And then when they got the white blood cell count, that's when, they were concerned about that. But then when they got that back, that's when that started. But on the positive side, Brian, you want some positives?
Yeah.
Yeah, we love some positives. All the heart tests, x-rays, grams, whatever all the stuff because they were very worried about congestive heart failure, because I did have some puffiness in the left leg, and a little bit of pain in the left leg, although not a serious infection. But I think it was because I was really leaning on that leg that last 2 days. But they were worried about congestive heart failure. All those tests came back negative. In fact, the one doctor's like, "Your heart works wonderfully." I'm like, it should, after what they put me through a couple years ago, So that was a definite positive. The brain scans came back negative.
Wait, for no brain at all?
No brain at all.
Okay.
So that hasn't changed. I did not suddenly grow one. And but when I left the last white blood cell test, it was back down to 7,000. So that was part of them re-releasing me.
Hey, my doctor told me one time that he was slightly concerned about testicular cancer.
Mm.
And I said, "Well, I'm not. She keeps them locked up in a safe somewhere." So
yeah, I'm not. I'm sure that place she keeps them is really, really, really medically cleared.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna try to share a picture of my breakfast.
There you go.
Let's see if I can do it. Let's see, not that one. Let's see if this one. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll try it the cheat way.
All right.
There it is.
Boom, Brian. That would not be a hospital-approved breakfast.
No. Okay. There we go. All right, we're done with that.
Yeah. So.
Well, there, I put Mo's food back.
There you go. Mo's food. Mo's food always. People always comment on my breakfast. I'm like, I don't know. Mo seems to out eat me as far as the not quantity, but in quality. He's always got a good breakfast up there. But I appreciate. I can't say enough how much I appreciate everybody's, reaching out, thoughts, prayers, good wishes, all that kind of stuff. I was. It's overwhelming when you get that much. And I figure that from some of the sources that I was getting some of the information from, people were going to, like Curly and OC and Brian, and people just say, "Have you heard anything about it?" Because people were, and it wasn't a ton of responses because I just didn't feel good. Like, I didn't feel good to the point that I didn't want to be on my phone that much. When it first happened, I was in the hospital, and they had me all drugged up and stuff. I went on Curly's show. Geez, that was over a week ago. Just to say, hey, there's not going to be a show. This is why. Here's where I'm at. And then when they didn't release me until later yesterday, I'm thinking, am I doing a hospital stream tomorrow? Because I already promised a show tomorrow. I feel good enough to do a show. I had my laptop. I'm like, well, it looks like we're doing a laptop hospital stream. But feeling much, much better. Just wow. Just really knocked the crap out of me out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere. But what are you going to do? Did I miss anything, Brian?
I'm I'm pretty sure IWC has come out with a Seamaster that's 18 millimeters thick with 5 pushers and 3 crowns.
Nice.
But nobody cared.
But nobody cared. If it's Seamaster, that means they're doing a mega collab. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if the Aqua Timer and the Seamaster combined, Brian? It might put me back in the hospital.
I know. I dial that down. Yeah, sorry.
Dial it back.
No, Mark. Everything has been very calm and relaxing, and everybody's been nice, and
Everybody's
no
been.
issues. Yeah.
You expect me to believe that? I always make an effort for weekend breakfast. Yes, as we all should. Thanks, Gen G. We'll see how I'm feeling Tuesday. Maybe come on for a little bit on the Tuesday night show to watch Hangout. Always a good time. Again, good to see you back smiling, hanging out with Brian. Well, I mean, the good back and smiling part's all good. Now I got to hang out with Brian again.
I will tell you that somebody on the Tuesday night cruise heard that you were sick, and they hoped it was me.
They were like, "Oh, wrong guy."
Yeah.
Sean, good to see you. Says Mark just jumped on. I had no idea you're not doing well. Good to know you're feeling better. We need our Lucha to be healthy and strong. I appreciate it. We got George Varese. Good morning, all. Yeah, it came out of nowhere, and like I said, the worst part was having to go back to the hospital. I don't even, the days run together so bad, Brian. I'm not even sure what day that was now.
Yeah,
the Tuesday or I mean, it just all just a big pile of misery. But fortunately, I was brought up in the era of rub dirt in it and take a lap, so I just kept kind of fighting through it. I was walking. I would get up and walk every once in a while just to get some motion in the leg, because I was worried that if they couldn't get the infection under control, well, you know what I was worried about, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Sherman would have started eating. Would have been Sherman would have started eating Shadow and then working on Mom.
Yeah, exactly. And I would come hobbled in with one leg eventually. I was very worried about that.
Yeah. Well, then you would have needed to get a parrot, because you would have been all set for Pirates Day. Oh, Pirates! They're in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they're in Pittsburgh. See, now
how did the Pirates get to Pittsburgh? I mean, they took a wrong turn somewhere.
Lots of rivers.
Oh,
the River Pirates. We had at one point a nurse looks at me. She's like, "Was that Thursday? Maybe." She's like, "What are?" She looks. She's Mark. Why are you walking around? And I looked at her and said, just enjoying one last day on the old lake.
Wow.
She just looked at me like I was insane, right?
Yeah, okay.
Well, what are you going to do?
Agree with her?
Yes. But feeling much better. Like I said, this new antibiotic they're calling for. They gave me some because the pharmacy was closed when I finally got out last night. My pharmacy, and so this last round of medication, I did a couple different types of IV antibiotics. I had oral antibiotics, and then I can't remember what it's called. But it's much stronger. It's a little harsher on the stomach, but. Take that this week. I am cleared to go back to work tomorrow, though.
Well, the buying public was safe from Jeeps for a week.
So I talked to my boss is like, "Wow, don't do this, don't." I'm like, "Don't. We'll just play it by ear, see how I feel, But they've been great, and no complaints, I mean, complaints, but overall, could have been much worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah, what? There's always worse.
there's always worse. Yeah. Yeah. Didn't eat a lot this week. It just wasn't feeling good. First few days didn't eat at all. Just kind of nibble on some stuff here and there when they brought it. Blood sugar's okay. Yeah, overall, I got a battery of tests. So one of the things you'll find is that if you have good health insurance and you end up in the hospital, they'll fucking test everything. Did you know that, Brian? You'll. I don't care if it has anything to do with what was going on or not. You're just getting tested for it, because they're getting paid. George Voorhees. George, can you hear us? George?
You'll have to hold on. Okay, there. Now George is done counting all of his Bitcoin.
George, can you hear us? Oh, we lost him. Maybe we'll come back on. Having an audio problem there. Did you buy any watches here lately, Brian?
No. No. I've had a busy 2 weeks while you were gone.
Oh, did you? What was going on?
Oh, I had a little trip that was pre-planned for the pipe world, and then we finished. The house has been turned over to us to decorate and live in without people coming over every morning.
Oh, nice. How's Mrs. Bryan feel about all that was done?
Well, now she's like, wait, where are the people that actually do the stuff? And she's looking at me, and I'm like, oh shit.
George, can we hear you now?
Can you hear me now?
We got you. Perfect.
All right.
Oh God! Hey, Mark, talk about worse. Now we can hear him.
Exactly. I just couldn't let this be a KLOS radio station talk show with Mark and Brian in the mornings.
Oh God.
A reference to my days in the 80s with KLOS, Brian, if you remember.
Yeah, and proof George did not do the 80s right. He remembers them.
Yeah. So true. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mark. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Glad I was able to get in touch with you last week. I'm glad you're doing much better. You're back to your IWC self, it looks like.
Yes, exactly. I'm plotting my next IWC purchase as we speak. Right. What about a Zenith? What if I bought another Zenith, George?
Oh, then we definitely know you have some secondary infection that needs to be investigated.
Doctor, we need to change Mark's medication.
Did you hear that my brain scan came back clear, George?
I had no doubt.
Man,
we can laugh about it now, but
we're
going through it. It's pretty.
Well,
serious.
I appreciated your kind words and stuff the other day, and everybody was great. So many people reached out over different platforms and through different people. I just it's always nice to know that that people care, and I felt like. I thought, well, when they first started, you're gonna have to take a few days off, keep the leg elevated, but blah blah blah. They're going over all the stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'll just sit around, I'll get caught up on some stuff, and maybe do a show. Nope, none of that. None of that happened. Just misery, but it was cool to be able to come back on today. I was actually kind of excited. Sometimes I'll be like, another Sunday show, and then today I was like, another Sunday show. I get to do a Sunday show.
You know how it is. Like when you're used to like having seeing somebody and some familiar faces on a Sunday morning, and then all of a sudden they're not there. It's like, oh my gosh, what happened here?
Exactly,
Something's not right.
George, it was so bad. Mark was so bad that he was messaging me yesterday and the day before saying, I can't wait to see you on Sunday. I thought, oh, she
It's so terrible.
Speaking of saying and talking to, hey, Sean in the chats, hop on the stream. Hop on the stream. It's been a while.
Sean.
yeah.
Hop on the stream.
I love Sean.
Yeah, hop on the stream. It's
I
been a
can tell
while.
you a couple of the favorite streams I ever did, non-watch wise, were just like Sean would come on for a little bit. We would just kind of BS about the car business.
Exactly.
You know, we just had such a good time.
Yeah.
Because it was like stuff that we understood. You know, hey, another prescription's ready. So by the time the show's over, well, I should be able to get all three. Because they called them in late yesterday. But yeah, that was a good. Yes. Dun 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 dun. Sean.
There we go.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning,
morning,
sir. How are
Sean.
you?
How are you? Yeah, waiting for my wife to wake up so we can have breakfast. So I could not pass up George's command, so I had to jump on.
There you
Mark,
go.
I had
How are
no
you?
idea. I had no idea, my friend.
It was pretty bad. It was bad infection, and you know it's funny because it started. It was a week ago Thursday. I woke up about 3 a.m. I think I was telling you this, George. We talked on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I had food poisoning. My stomach hurt real bad, but then it like every bone, joint, muscle in my body just started to hurt, like really hurt. And I was like, what is going on here? And then it just sort of settled down, and then it just became like, oh, you have a horrible infection. Your entire body's trying to fight it. Like shit. But it did. It worked. Viva la body.
Well, thank God you're here. You're feeling better. So
Yeah.
good to have you.
Good
It's
Yeah, 'cause-
it's amazing. You know, I've been busy, so I haven't been on the streams on the regular basis, with the exception of just the ones on Sunday. But it's amazing when all of a sudden you realize that somebody that, as George said, somebody that you've been listening to every Sunday morning is not there. I'm sure that's how everybody felt. And for me, the thought of you, you know, being sick and not being on a Sunday morning was just, you know, it's tough. But anyways, good to have you back. Good
Thank
to
you.
see Brian's humor is still the same as always. I love it.
You call that humor?
And then George, the class act that he has. So I think the world is turning on the correct axis. So
All right, let's just face it. Everybody's happy that Mark's back because they knew I had keys and could run the show by myself until until the StreamYard bill ran out. So,
Brian, I had no idea. We dodged the bullet.
we all did.
So
John, it's been a while. How have you been? It's been
I've been
a
good.
long
I've been
time.
good. I've been busy, and yeah. So it's been good. As Mark can attest, the car business is funny, but it's been strong. It's been good. Not at strict level of post-COVID, but
It's been a little choppy, but it's heading up.
Yeah, it's been it's a pent-up demand that is totally man-made.
We created it.
So
That's the same as COVID.
Huh?
It's the same as COVID.
Exactly.
I saw it on South Park. A man had sex with a bat, and that was COVID.
Oh my God. So any George, any new pieces making its way on your wrist?
Well, I'm actually in the process of attaining a new Debatoon. So
Whoa.
yeah. So
that's news.
Yes. So it should be here in the summer, and they're just waiting for it to. I think the AD said it's somewhere in Hong Kong, like my other one was, and it's going on a tour of Asia, and once that's finished, they said it should be shipped out. So I'm hoping sometime in June or July. So
That's
pretty soon.
awesome.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I will
I've been
tell you,
on-
George, we've had this discussion before, but of all the major, like the major expensive independents, those Dave Bethunes that you have and the other ones that I've seen, I think are one of my the top two.
Mm.
I love those watches.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Dave Bethune, so for me, it's a love, true love, and I do love Dave Bethune, so it's staying in my permanent collection. Whereas other pieces have come and gone, this one has stuck around. So,
Nice.
you give me a second, see if I could get this stuff here. So, anyways, Sean, what about you? What's new with you these days? You got new pieces?
No,
You're always
I haven't. When I was in Europe, I almost picked up a piece, but it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. But there's a piece that I'm looking for, and I'm still on the eternal waiting list of FP Jorn, but I think they even forgot my name. I'm still getting I'm still getting their emails to go to their Tuesday get-togethers, which I don't, and that's probably why I'm not getting the piece yet. But so I guess they have my name somewhere in their database. But once in a while, I think about it. At least they haven't told me you're permanently off. But
Okay.
no, there's a piece that I'm looking for, and I found an older version of it while I was in London. And I almost pulled the trigger. It looked good, but I'm waiting a little bit longer to find the right piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Patek. It's a gondola.
Oh,
it's
nice.
Sam pile. So we'll see.
Very nice.
Very
me,
nice.
I like the weird stuff.
Not me. I love all the IWCs. That's nothing weird at all.
God.
IWC had a great year this year with their offerings, man.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
And even I went into an IWC AD at South Coast Plaza and was impressed by their offerings.
Yeah.
See? Even if even George can be swayed, that green lights my next purchase.
Oh,
now that they figured Lucha is their ambassador, they better up their game before he tries to They don't want to lose Lucha to Zenith. They want to.
Yes.
Yeah, and George, when you buy an IWC, they don't have to figure out how to get it out of the back door of a Chinese factory around into Hong Kong and then ship it over to you slowly.
Oh God!
Right.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Well, like I said, I'm actually, believe it or not, Mark, in honor of your recovery, I'm actually kind of interested in an IWC these days.
Ooh, which one?
Yeah, I'm just a plain old Ingenieur fan. The Ingenieur.
It's nice. Yeah, the Ingenieur's nice.
And there's some pretty good deals on the gray that I'm looking at. And I thought, well, there's a photo. There's when we were down there, I was with Dirk Diggler, so we were at the IWC AD there, and we were trying them on, and I looked at him and I said, damn, this doesn't look too bad. Now I understand why Lucha likes the brand.
All right, well, we just explained it. You were within 10 feet of Dirk Diggler, so you were under the influence of whatever he had the last week. So
Oh God. Anyways,
I think the Ingenieur is a good looking watch. I think it's a tad bit overpriced in the stainless.
Yeah.
But you can find some deals on them. And I still, because I had that Zenith Defy Skyline for so long, and I liked that watch. And I'm like, would I like another Skyline, or would I like to try an Ingenieur? And I kind of go back and forth on those, looking around. And honestly, if I found the right deal on one, I might pull the trigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They had some pretty interesting pilot watches over there too. Some
They're beautiful.
really
pilot
nice. Yeah, actually,
They're
I
pilot
was
watches.
pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised.
The big Pilot 43, just the three-hander. I
Mhm.
think it's just a stunning, simple, amazing watch.
I agree with you on that. Yeah, definitely. So Breguet, the lady that's in charge of Breguet boutique out here, texted me last week, and he said, if you can't come and pay us a visit, there's a new piece that's not released yet, but we have it here. Come and take a look at it. So I was trying to see if I could go yesterday, but I was busy. So I guess it's one of those. I'm guessing it's one of those that they're gonna release once a month. I guess for the rest of the year for their 250th anniversary. What's your thoughts on the first one that came out? Anybody?
Let's pull it up.
Yeah, Breguet.
Yeah, it's the subscription.
What's it called?
It's Breguet's 250th anniversary release. It's basically we were at the museum with the gang, and it's amazing how Breguet, he was a great businessman as well as a watchmaker.
Yeah.
He had the first subscription watch, because back then the rich could not afford watches or timepieces. You had to be ultra rich or what part of the royalty to own it. So he offered the subscription where people would make payments till the watch was made.
Okay.
And they had the very first one. It was a pocket watch, and this watch, this dial, and the single hand is very close to the original. So they came up with this. It's when you look at it, you go, okay, one hand it's kind of weird and all that. And honestly, I wasn't too impressed with the very first. I thought this is the only offering they have for 250th anniversary, so I was kind of like disappointed.
Yeah.
But then when I found out that they're going to be releasing models throughout the year, celebrating the 250th anniversary, then I said, okay, maybe they're warming up your appetite, and why not start with the very first subscription watch, and then we'll see what they have. But I think this watch that came out that hasn't been released, and she wants to show it to me. I imagine it would be probably the number 2 release of the year for them.
That's kind of cool. Look, how do you? Okay, so there's one hand. Is it? What are we doing now?
You know what this reminds me of, Mark? Have you heard of the watchmaker Ludovic Boulard?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they have a watch. I think it's called Upside Down or Downside Up or something like that. But it's a single arm watch as well, and it looks identical to this.
Yeah. So the way this is, your hours, obviously, as you can see, is divided into quarters, and in the quarters are divided into 3 sections. So they're basically I think it's 3 sections, right? Yeah. So it's every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's close enough.
You're right. Close enough for hand grenades, as they say. That's cool.
Yeah, but it's a lot of money. It's it's $40-some thousand they want for this thing.
Wow.
Yeah. They're getting greedy. But anyways, it was. I don't think any of you guys are Breguet fans, but it was pretty special to be there for their anniversary at the museum. And guys, it was just it was amazing that they actually gave us access to the vault with all their books, and they pulled out the book, and it was the very first entry for the very first wristwatch ever sold, which was for the Queen of Naples. I think it was like 1810, or I don't know, 1790 something. I think it was 1810. So it was handwritten, and it was there, and right underneath it, it was Bonaparte's entry for a pocket watch that he had gotten that same year.
Wow.
Mm.
And the guy said that they still have a person that comes in every day, and they make they get the reports from around the world, and they make the entries with ink on paper, just like they have for
Oh, wow.
centuries. And I asked the question. I said, "You're telling me you don't make these entries electronically?" And he says, "We do, but we don't know 200 years or 100 years from now the format that these are saved are going to be supported. We know
Okay.
ink and paper will last forever.
Yeah.
So they manually keep track of all the sales."
Sean, it's like when I go to TO a deal and I'm doing the final numbers, I pull out the green marker and I write it.
In the old days, we used to have you remember those giant sheets with the thick paper covers that they had, and then for us, we had, our company also had the back end life accident health part of the insurance also, and we had to enter every deal in their stock number, date, stock number, name, customer, salesman, all that, and what was the back end stuff that was sold. and then if you got a call at 8:30, we closed at 9, at 8:30 from the owner, you better had known your numbers, man.
Exactly. You had to have them. Yeah. When you got that call, you
better know where you're at.
You better know exactly where you're at, or you're going to get yelled at.
It was all manual entry.
Yeah.
I remember one night, Lucia, it was we had like 5 cars out by 6 o'clock, and I was a closing manager. We ended up leaving at 2:45 a.m. and we had 26 cars out. I was the only sales manager there. At 1 o'clock in the morning, we were walking the showroom, just feeling pumped. It was just unbelievable.
I remember those days. I mean,
we sold 21 cars after 6 o'clock.
It was a 9-to-9 business.
Yeah.
But really, it was 8:30 till whatever time the last customer left. And that could have been 12:30, 1 o'clock. But you loved it. You were always pumped up and moving and motivated. And
it was so good that Lucia, back then we had our Saturday meetings at 8:30 in the morning.
Yep.
I did not have a single person late for that meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, I got home probably about 3:30 in the morning. Some of the guys got home same time, and everybody was back out there. That's not a bad looking watch on that wrist, huh?
Yeah.
That was pretty solid watch. But anyways, nobody was late. Everybody was pumped. Good to see you, George.
Good to see you, my friend.
Back in the day,
it's been a long time.
It has.
Yeah, back in the day, you could do, Monday through Friday. Like, we were closed on Sundays here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, you'd sell X amount of cars. There were oftentimes Saturdays you would double your sales for the week on Saturday.
Yeah.
It was.
But wasn't that the norm? Wasn't that the norm?
It was
back
chaos.
In the day? You'd sell more on Saturday.
Yeah. I actually like having the idea of having Sundays off, but it's the cat's out of the bag. We can't.
You can't put the two back in the
especially out here. But if you're in Vegas is they're closed on. It's funny, Vegas, where you have all the sins in the world legally happening. They're closed
on Sunday.
And then Arizona, I think, is the same way, and it's because these deals, these business doesn't go anywhere. Either it comes in on Saturday or comes in on Monday. But what it allows you to do is it makes it much easier to schedule.
Yes.
And it also brings in the family type employees. Where they have a family, they need to have Sundays off. They want to go to church. So and it reduces your cost, quite frankly, your expenses.
It really does.
Yeah.
And I think if COVID has taught us anything, it's that people will come in when you're open.
Yeah.
People had no problem. Like when we had limited hours and stuff, like when that first all was going down, people were still coming in,
Yeah.
So
I'm just wondering in those old days of car sales, was the engine crank, was that a standard or was that an option?
Now, there was a standard crank, but there was an optional premium crank, Brian.
Oh, Sean, in Beverly Hills, did you have a leather wrapped hand crank and then maybe a jeweled one as another option?
Brian, listen, we were laughing about this, but back then when we got in the car business, it was something really special to have front and rear disc brakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there were cars that were coming out. I mean, if you got a Accord DX or a Civic DX, you did not have right side mirror or air conditioning. It was optional.
Yeah. I remember the advent of power steering.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm slowly working on slowing down career for my retirement.
Oh,
yeah. So it's time, I think, a little bit.
Brian, what do you think of that movement?
And then Sean is going to devote most of his time to streaming. Right, Sean?
No, this is my wife loves to travel, and I've been telling her, we've been talking about this for the past year and a half or so, as far as me slowing it down. So then at some point I'll bring it to a stop, but because it's hard to just do a hard stop, right? It's not
right.
You're gonna have, so you want to slow it down. You want to go to a slower paced store and all that stuff. So, but I told my wife that the plan is to we go traveling, but set aside a certain amount of funds and see what you're gonna find that's unusual. Look for hidden gems, basically. And I talked to the boys at Beverly Hills Watch Company, and they love the idea. So I may be doing that to keep the blood flowing, because you still have to have a chase, right? Every day you go to work, you got stuff on your head you want to do. When you're traveling, you want to be looking for something. You want to be busy. So I'll probably do that, and then I'll buy it for these guys, and then they'll sell it, and just keep having a little bit of fun still.
Well, my retirement plan is to retire and then have the wife work while I go traveling and hang out with Sean, Brian, and Mark. That's my retirement plan.
Does your wife know your plan?
Yes, she does. She's absolutely on board with it.
Oh, she is. She just wants you out of the house.
Exactly. Oh,
that's cool.
It's so good to hear your voice, Sean. It's been too long, my friend. I've been meaning to get in touch with you when I get down to California, but there's always something going on, and it's always on a short notice, and it's like, and I know you're busy, so.
Definitely let me know. I would love to meet you for the second time only in person.
Yeah. Yep.
That was good times a couple of years ago.
Those were good times. Yeah. Good times.
My plan is to visit. My plan is to visit California. Not tell Sean. Just show up at the dealership and have some salesman run screaming to his office saying, "There's some guy wearing an Omega in all black and gold causing a ruckus in the showroom."
Love to meet you in person, Mark. I met Brian. I met Mrs. Brian, and obviously George, but I haven't met you yet. So hopefully soon.
Absolutely.
The best part of
come to Philadelphia or New York to meet you.
Yes.
Yeah. The best part of meeting Brian is meeting Mrs. Brian.
I think she would agree.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think she might.
What when you meet Brian, you'll be surprised how tall he is.
I won't be.
Because I think you haven't met him.
No, but we're the same height.
Oh, you are.
And the other funny thing is like when you meet Brian and you get really close to him like I did and give him a bear hug like I did and lift him off the ground, he doesn't smell like cigars. That's a funny thing.
Well, the cigar smell. Who would have thought?
That's funny.
I think I sat right next to these two gentlemen. Brian was on my left and Sean was on my right.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah,
very
good
cool.
people.
Yeah, there's a lot of good people. I
Beautiful.
got to tell you, and again, I appreciate everybody reaching out this week. Yeah, past week and a half. But I always say that there's more good people in these streams than bad.
Oh yeah.
You know.
And there's, like all these issues and stuff like that. But in the end, we're still pretty close community.
Yeah. We got to
And by the way, Sean, I do like your Sunday wine streams. I do enjoy those.
It's not mine, but yeah, it's fun for us. It's Timmy is doing a good job holding keeping it going, and the guys are Mike Lewis and
oh gosh, yeah,
these guys just amazing. I mean, the preparation they go into, and then and they have fun doing it, and that's the exciting thing about it, right? And thank God, my wife on just past few weeks started teaching a younger group of younger kids. They're probably from 6-7 years till, like, I don't know, 14-15-year-old. She holds a singing class, and those are Sunday afternoons. So it allows me to be on the stream, and sometimes she'll come home and we're still on the stream. So, but I'm glad that the timing worked, because I felt guilty, because a lot of times I go to work on Saturdays just for a half a day. So a lot of times I only have just Sunday full day, and to be half of that daytime to be on a stream with a bunch of guys all over the world talking about nothing and having smoking cigars and drinking and all that stuff. I don't think that's really exciting for a spouse. So
wow.
she has these classes.
Right.
Well, thank God she has patience and love in her heart.
Yeah. I think she's just given up on the hope and putting up with it.
It happens. Hey, we want to welcome Skip Intro back to the show. He says, "Hey, Lucha, glad to see you back and kicking. Welcome back, and wish you continue feeling better, enjoying those watches." Yeah, I feel. I mean, it's still not 100%, but I feel so much better. So
good to know, man. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good. To know.
And Curly's saying hi to you too.
Hi, Curly. He's always there.
He's always watching you.
Hey, gentlemen, I'm gonna jump in the car and go to the local bakery that just they should be open in about 10 minutes. I'm gonna grab a couple of croissants, come back so my wife and I can have breakfast. Man, that thing that was that you or Muhammad's breakfast?
That was Muhammad's breakfast. I didn't cook today, but that was Muhammad's breakfast. There's a one or two restaurants he goes to on the weekends that just make, not only I'm sure it's delicious, but they do what hits my heart is they played it so well. It's, because you eat with your eyes first. Yeah.
Listen, guys, it was so much fun jumping on. Thank you for having me on, Mark. Thank you, George, for the invitation or the command. It was so good to talk to you guys directly. And Lucha,
always good to talk to you.
It's always fun for me as well, George. Lucha, stay well, my friend.
Okay, please tell Shima we said hi, okay?
We need Lucha in our lives.
Make sure you tell Shima we said hi.
Oh, thank you. You as well, to your missus. Yeah. And Brian, when he comes back. Oh
no, I'm here. I'm listening.
Oh.
I just didn't want to get in the middle of yours and George's love affair.
You didn't want to be the third wheel?
It's a mutual admiration society.
I love you too, man. All right, guys. Have a great Sunday. Take care.
All right, Sean.
Bye-bye. Take care. Take care, PW.
Always great to hear Sean.
Oh, God. Just a
Good guy.
A kind human being, a very
Yeah.
kind human
Yes.
being. You may have never met him, but he's exactly like that in real life.
We've talked on the phone a couple of times when I was job hunting and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, he's so supportive and you know, just always it's sometimes fun just to, you know, chew the fat with somebody who understands the business that you're in, you know.
Yep.
We've got Mick
Anyway.
Moss. Oh, you got stuff to show us, George?
Hold on.
I
had to. I was on vacation, and I got a text message from my AD, and he wanted to confirm I had these watches still with me. So I had to go to the vault, and here's the DV28 XP, which I wear all the time. And here's the Brian watch, as I call it, Stradivarius.
I touched that one. I touched it.
Yeah,
I touched it.
He touched it, wore it, and there's still like a little bit of a smoke stain on the band.
Yeah.
You look right in there. There's like a little bit of the pipe stain right there.
Yeah, and I bet it tingles when you eat pork.
Oh yes, it does.
Yeah.
Good memories, Brian. Good memories, and of course, my got to wear the RM. So
now, do you?
Anyways.
I know when you got the RM and you were like really into it and stuff. But do you still wear it as much as?
Oh heck yeah!
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, I still wear it.
Nice.
It's supposed to be worn, right?
That's the way I feel.
Right. Still supposed to be worn, and I'm actually ordered a couple of new straps. So
cool.
Should be for the summertime. I'm going to be getting a green strap and a red strap.
Nice.
So, yeah. So that's what's happening. So,
that's my favorite right there.
Right there.
The
hinge lugs. Yeah. So, anyways, they wanted to just make sure that I haven't been. I
you
still
didn't
have
flip
my
them
David before. Exactly. And so I said, well, if I did, I wouldn't be asking for another one. So
yeah,
you know. But
Is it even possible to flip those?
I'm assuming I've seen a few show up on like European Watch Co. every so often, right?
Okay.
So I'm assuming it's possible, but not like the real. It's like the early versions of some of the David tunes, which aren't so good. But the ones that they do get, I have seen a couple of the Stradivarius, but they were in rose gold or yellow gold, and those usually sell pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's basically I don't think I'm planning to sell these, and I'll keep them for the rest of my life. And I think I enjoy David tune. It's a little not for everyone's taste, but it's what it is,
of those major independent kind of things, it's top two for me.
Yeah,
I really like them.
And I have to admit, both of these are titanium, and titanium is, and even the RM is, and it really doesn't feel like it's on your wrist, to be honest with you. So, and even my Laurent Ferrier is titanium. So I've transitioned out of like all the gold pieces and into the titanium pieces. So
from the heavy to the light.
Exactly.
Real quick, we got Mick Moss. Good to see you. BW Orco's in the chat. Always good to see Orco in the chat. Esoteric. Good morning, all. Good morning, Esoteric. Thank you, guys. So now that George has shown us the good watches, why don't we take a quick peek at some items? George, there you go. There's your Angenours.
You know what I tried on that I really liked was the carbon. Do you see that middle one? Isn't that carbon, if I'm not mistaken?
Let's pull it up here. Information. Come on. Ceramic.
I'm sorry, I meant to say it actually is really nice because it feels really good on the wrist and it looks good.
Yeah.
Most of all.
It's a good looking piece.
Yeah. And the contrast on the dial looks real good because you got the black with the white. It looks really good. You can read the time.
Yeah. Yeah, they do a really nice job. That one has the exhibition back. I think a lot of them do not. The Angenours.
Right.
Have that iron cage.
How much was that, Mark? I can't see.
19.5.
Yeah. I think you can do worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and for less money.
Yeah. I get torn on these. I know a lot of people like the this kind of aqua looking one, but I love this white one in the stainless. The listed 11.7. I don't know. There's just kind of a symmetry to it. You know, it's kind of like an opaline white. Just always like that watch. I know the hype one was when they first came out was the aqua, and then the dark blue. I'm not crazy. What do you guys think about this one? This is that special one they made for the movie with Brad Pitt, the F1 movie.
I like it.
You like this one?
I like it. I like that color.
I like Brad Pitt.
I like Brad Pitt.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
If I was gay, it would be him or Harry Connick Jr.
Oh,
Now my last feeling is hurt, Brian.
yeah.
I think we just say him or Lucha.
Yeah, nothing personal, Mark, but you know, I like the pretty boys.
With lots and lots of money.
Oh my God, yeah.
All right. Well, none of those things.
Now the truth is, I got a better chance with Sherman.
Yeah. You'd love some Sherman time.
Oh.
He's a good boy. Yeah, I love the bracelet on this watch as well.
Hmm.
I
have to admit that was the one thing I was impressed by with IWC because the bracelet's actually really nice. It feels good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their bracelets in general. Oh, look what showed up, Brian.
What? Oh,
The Aqua Timer.
wait, do they actually retail those?
They evidently.
Wow.
Brian, what's the best bracelet watch you've ever owned?
Oh boy. I best bracelet watch I've ever owned.
Tiger Tail prefers the Chopard. The Chopard's really nice too.
No. We can look at that next, Mark. It's actually, he's right. It is pretty good.
It is a pretty good watch.
Yeah, let me think about that because I want to give you a real answer and not one of my usual bullshit answers.
Mark, what do you think? What's the best bracelet watch you've owned?
That is. I'm going to give you a weird one.
Oh, hold on. Here we go.
Because it was a beautiful bracelet. It was a comfortable bracelet, and it had hidden microjusts in it, which you don't normally find on a butterfly clasp. It was the JLC.
Oh, okay.
That bracelet was amazing. The bracelet was better than the watch.
For me personally, I have to say I really like the VC overseas bracelet.
I've heard that I've never tried. The only overseas I ever tried on, they had it on a rubber strap. They didn't have the bracelet with them, but I have heard that is an amazing bracelet.
It is. It is really nice. Really,
it's one of my favorite watches. The blue overseas 3-hander.
Yep.
I think is just simple perfection.
I've seen the rose gold overseas with the blue dial selling in the gray for about 53,000.
Yeah.
And I am so tempted. So tempted. Because that ever rose gold that they do is so nice. And with the blue dial. Oh.
That blue dial. Even on the stainless. Mo has that one, and he wears it on that kind of orangey strap a lot.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Oh, God, is that a good looking watch?
It is. It's so nice.
The dial is just piercing blue. Billy says if you buy this IWC, you better not get tired of it, because if you get tired, then you need some money you won't get but half the price. It's not a Rolex.
You'll be lucky if you get half retail.
Say. Be lucky
all right, so here's my real answer.
Okay.
Just the simple standard Rolex Jubilee bracelet is my favorite that I've really experienced. Now,
Mm.
I will say I did not like. I had the overseas dual time, the previous generation, or the
Mhm.
not the current generation, but not the thin down one. And
Mhm.
I didn't like that bracelet as much as I liked a certain Chopek that George
Mm.
and I are familiar with. And I thought that Chopek bracelet was fantastic compared to the IW, compared to the Vacheron.
Yeah.
Mm.
I haven't touched the new thin down, better tapered bracelet from the overseas at all. So I would love to see that. I played around with this Chopard Alpine Eagle, and it was just a little too chunky for me.
Okay.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm perfectly happy with the standard Jubilee Rolex bracelet.
Mm.
I have much more standard taste than some Bitcoin fanatic that we know.
Ah.
Uh,
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Jubilee is hard to beat. I'm an oyster guy. The three Rolexes
Uh.
I've owned were all an oyster, and I always thought that was just for just a simple 3-link bracelet. It was hard to beat. You know, for comfort, and for looks. I just always thought that was a great looking piece.
This Chopard looks nice too. I was able to try this on because I was comparing this Chopard Alpine Eagle to the IWC Ingenieur, and I have to admit, I think he's right when he says that Chopard might be it fits a little bit better. But you know what this gives me is Hublot vibes a little bit.
A little
The
bit.
dial gives me a little bit of like Hublot vibes. I don't know why. I just can't help but not see a Hublot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the Laureatos?
I liked mine that I had, but it irritated the piss out of me that that when you took the center link, the middle link space, the polished middle piece, if you took one out, it was uneven once I sized it. So there was like when I looked at the clasp, there was an uneven amount of links.
Okay.
On the back of it. They need a micro adjust. They need to realize what year this is now.
Yeah, everybody does. I mean,
yeah.
There's simple things that everyone should do as far as micro adjust, interchange systems to change your straps. I mean, it's 2025. Hey, your buddy's in the chat there, Brian. He says, hi, Mark. Glad you're feeling better. You have to take care of yourself, Bubs. Otherwise, you may end up like Brian.
Hey,
yeah.
He's not just Brian's buddy. He's my buddy.
Yeah, well, there you go. He says, hey, yeah, he says, hi, George. Bubs. Billy agrees with Brian. The Jubilee is the best bracelet.
Yeah, it just balances on me well. And the Tudor 5-link that I have on the pink chrono is really nice and comfortable.
Yeah, I had that 41 for a little bit, the master chronometer one with the red bezel, the first one they came out with on the 5-link, the Black Bay, and that was a really nice bracelet. The only thing I hated was the polished clasp, because that thing, and I'm not hard on my watches, but that thing looked old in a week.
Yeah, well,
yeah. It did not hold up to desk warfare.
Yeah. And I've also got, I mean, if I want to try to get into George's league here for a minute, I've got the Patek 5960 stainless steel, and that bracelet is almost a beads of rice, and it's pretty silky.
That is nice.
No micro adjust, you know.
Yeah. So what is the current state of the watch market these days? Is it still going down, or is it stable? What's the lay of the land?
My assessment is that there's still some pieces. there's still some stuff that's dropping, but then everything else is kind of staying and stabilized. I think there's some dealers that are trying to hold prices on stuff.
Mm.
But there are some brands like, especially like Chopard and GP, that seem to continue to trickle down smaller and smaller. Breguet, I know we were, Sean's fascination with that one-handed wing dinghy, which is really a collector's piece and not a watch. But there are some of the gold Breguets that are just, it seems like every week they come down by a couple $100.
Yeah, there's some deals out there, but I think your super hype stuff is still your super hype stuff. I don't see that changing anytime soon. I think there's a little bit of pent up demand because people were waiting to see what was going to happen with the election and then the tariffs and then what's going on in the world. But I think that's starting to break a little bit. But
I don't know. I think $50,000 for a Daytona, white gold Daytona, may be a little pricey, if you ask me.
Somebody said in the chat that I was glad I sold the Chopek when I did. I was, because now I'm thinking about rebuying them for $5,000 to $7,000 less than what I got for it.
Yeah. Well,
I think we talked about that once, bro. We looked at one. You're like, it might be. It's a beautiful watch.
Can I tell you, when I was traveling and I'm on the plane and I'm looking through, when I got the Wi-Fi on and I'm just looking through everything, I saw a 5226G.
I love that watch.
Oh God, I absolutely love that watch.
And I'm not, I'm not like a big Patek guy, but I love that watch.
It's I was looking through it and it's selling now. It's 40 millimeters, the charcoal dial, and you could get it like $5,000 under MSRP.
Yeah. I've seen some of the 5326s now in the mid 60s.
Yeah. I think this watch is
so nice.
It's just so beautiful.
Right.
I know Ali Reza hates this watch. I don't know why he hates it, but it is like it's just so beautifully crafted, and then it has that dial that makes it sporty, dressy. You can do
everything.
Watch.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got creamy lume.
Yeah. I think this is a really, really beautiful watch, and for the price you're getting on this in the gray for sub MSRP for a nice version of it, I think it's really nice. This might be one for my list here.
Yeah, I've often said that if I was going to have a retirement watch, it might possibly be this. I just think it's just something about it. I just love E. Stewart Hall. No, we eradicated the super chat button like a month and a half ago, I think. I have a job. I promote you guys super chatting other people's channels to do this for a living. I really promote you guys. So if they're doing like one of those charity unboxing streams, please go there, do that kind of stuff. That's always for a good cause. But for me, it's just a lot, and I hate the copyright stuff that comes along with it, and I just would rather just sit here and chat watches, Skateboard the original OC says, welcome back. I heard the doctor's pinpointing the origin of the issue to over purchasing of Omega watches. Best wishes for a full recovery. Thank you, sir. Dirk Diggler says, this watch is so simple yet classy. I love this watch. It really does many boxes.
It does. I've been, like I said, I haven't really been buying a lot recently, and I'm getting like a major itch these days to buy a few pieces.
Yeah.
I've got the same itch, but I'm at the point where I've got nothing that I want to get rid of. But I've got 2 open slots in my watch box, and that's irritating me. So I don't want to just buy shit just to fill the watch box.
Right.
Because that's how you lose money. You buy shit and oh, this is cool. I'll wear this. Oh yeah, great. You wore it twice. Dumbass.
Well, it's just interesting because all these watches have come down so much in price. I remember when this was like selling way above MSRP when it first came out, and now you can get a really nice piece about 35, 34 is what I saw when I was, online. And I really like this.
Yeah. It's really, really, there's just something, I don't know what it is. First time I saw it, George, I was like, whoa. And then, and that was just seeing the dial. I was like, that's really, really like simple, beautiful. And then you see the case and the back, and it just everything just really seems to work on that watch.
And as I'm getting older, Mark, the one thing I appreciate more and more is the fact that I can read the time on this.
The legibility.
Exactly.
Wait until you get to be our age, George. You young fucker.
Oh God! This is a beautiful watch. Beautiful.
It really is. It's funny. I just looked down at my watch. I'm going to show some here real quick. We were talking about bracelets. The bracelet on this Super Racing is actually really nice. This is one of my favorites too. It's got just a little bit of micro adjust, but the taper on it, it's a real comfy watch to wear.
And the 5226, every time I look at the minute hand and at the hour hand, it reminds me of a dental syringe for some reason.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I don't know why, but it reminds me of a syringe,
Nice. Maybe that's why I like it. It reminds me of
I think that's what it is
too. George, they're actually modeled after a 1950s enema tube.
Oh God.
Anything with that.
Oh God.
Well, they call them syringe hands. So
yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know why I have this bizarre fascination with travel time stuff, but that 5326 of
that's this version in the travel time.
Travel time.
Yeah, it's the travel time annual calendar. That would be the end of my Pateks. I would have 3 Pateks and then be the end of them. And I'd actually wear that and get it all sweaty here. Yeah.
Would you?
I'm pretty convinced. Yeah. I mean, somebody that we all know might have been at Walt Disney World working yesterday wearing a Patek. So
really?
Yeah.
Huh. What a shocker.
Yeah. What's the MSRP on something like this, Brian? 80?
78.
Oh, wow.
Mark, click that little arrow right there in the middle and it'll tell you.
What is
83,430.
Oh, fuck me dead. It went up.
Are they above MSRP on the gray, or are they? Okay.
No.
Is it?
There's one in Southern California right now for like 66.
There you go.
Is it 40 millimeter or 42?
40 and a half, I think.
Oh, it's really nice.
41 it says.
Okay.
And
it's only a millimeter bigger.
Yeah, and it's also 2 hobnail rows thicker than the 3-hander.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is.
So it's got 5 rows of hobnails. The other one has 3.
11.07 millimeters thick. 30 meters of water resistant.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So
it's a beautiful piece. I mean, it is, either one is beautiful. If you like the extra complications, yeah. I like the simple 3-hand.
Me too. But yeah, I mean, you're almost looking at a $30,000 difference in the grade.
Yeah.
For a complication, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's a watch that I could travel with and be done.
But you always say that.
If I went traveling, yeah. Yeah.
And the other one that I'm looking at is from European Watch Co. All right.
All right, let me go pull them up.
And I've been playing with this one for a long time. It's the Datograph.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Platinum Datograph. Yeah, I've been looking at this, and I've been looking at this, and I've been looking at this. My wife is getting so sick of it because she says every time she opens up the computer, there's a photo of this Datograph at European Watch Co. It's the 39 millimeter version of the Platinum Datograph.
You know, with all the titanium you're buying lately, that
I know
platinum
it.
is going to be awfully heavy. You're going to fall over.
Exactly. But if I'm going to buy a Platinum, I'd love to get this one.
Let's see the middle one here, George.
Yeah, it's I think it's 73. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
73.
I've been looking at this for like almost. It's been on there for about like 3 months now.
Yeah.
It started at like 77, and it's now at 73.
It's a beautiful watch.
Yes, it is. I think it also had a recent service done too. So
Oh.
it's the 39 millimeter version of it, not the 41.
Right.
So it's an older version. It's more to the classic form. So
It's the ladies' size.
I don't
Perfect.
care what it is, but it's perfect to me.
Yeah.
Perfect for you, George.
Yep.
All right.
It's a beauty.
I'll show one of my secret finds that I've been eyeballing,
Uh-oh.
but I will not show where it is. Although if you just Google, you can figure it out. But I will.
Yeah. I got to admit, hey Orko, I got to admit, for 73,000 for a Datograph, I think the new ones, if I'm not mistaken, are like $117,000 for the Platinum Datograph.
Sounds
That's
about
a
right.
lot of money. That's
Yeah.
a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. It's such a classic, beautiful looking watch.
I had the 1815 Chrono, and I should not have gotten rid of it. I should not have gotten rid of it. Oh well.
Timestamp that. George, the Bitcoin King, made a mistake.
Uh-oh.
Timestamp.
Oh, I've made so many mistakes. Are you kidding me? You forgot my endeavor into the Chopek realm. You forgot my endeavors into all these other crazy watches that I've owned. You know, come on. This is just a hobby, right, Brian? This is.
I wasn't going to bring it up. I wasn't going to bring it up.
Hey, I confess my sins.
Yeah. Listen, I'm really good at buying high and selling low.
Exactly. You know, this is just a hobby. Mark, no offense to you, but you buy a car and you take it off the lot, it depreciates immediately. Does it?
Of course.
Not? So, yeah.
It does. 100%.
I can't find a good. No, I'll just show this stupid real watch. Dumbass.
All right.
There, Mark, I'll put it in the private chat so you can show it. So that way I didn't show my own secret spot.
Let's see.
And by the way, Brian, your 5960, I had the same watch years back.
This one is actually yours. I saw I could sense. I can smell the Novocaine.
Exactly. Even though it's odorless, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
So
Maybe
I've been looking around for just a simple gold dress watch.
Oh.
And my problem is I like watches with a date. And then I was just poking around on the Real, which I do on a regular basis. And this was an $85,000 retail JLC.
I'm not a real member, evidently.
Just hit dismiss.
Where's dismiss?
All right, never mind. I'll present.
It's not letting me do anything, Brian.
There it is.
Join. There you go.
Oh. $23,000 for an $85,000 watch?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that's a date tourbillon. And the way the date pointer works is so on the 15th, on the evening of the 15th, it slowly over the night by about 4 a.m. gets over to here and parks here for the 16th so that it doesn't ever block the tourbillon.
Ah.
And then it goes around.
Mm.
It's just a date. It's not an annual or perpetual or anything. But I was looking at that and going, and it's a 39 millimeter. Now, it's got the case of a JLC, so the case is just, you don't need Novocaine. It just puts you to sleep.
And from the looks of it, the price is also retained just like a JLC.
Yes. 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 It has depreciated fully at this point, I would think.
Yeah. Beyond fully.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Can you make an offer on this on the Real, Brian? Like you throw out an offer like eBay, or is it pretty fixed?
You can reach out to them and say, hey, but I've never bought a watch from them. So
okay. Now, do they own these watches or are these consignment pieces?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, both. So that's something that I've been thinking. Should I?
Yeah.
Could I? Anyway.
Now,
for 23, it's not bad.
Yeah, I was going to say, the depreciation that's already on it, you couldn't lose very much on that, I would think. You didn't like it.
I would imagine that if I owned it for, all right, so here's how I think about stuff like this.
Okay.
$85,000 retail. If it's got box and papers, which they don't say anything about it because it's the real. Yeah. They're not really good at that shit. If it's got box and papers, why wouldn't a place like European Watch buy it from me for 20 or 21 or maybe Watchbox, 20 to 21 or 22? They'd sell it for 30, 35. Yeah, so I could own it for a while, and then if I really didn't like it, I might lose a couple $1,000.
Okay, so you wouldn't lose your shirt. I would think. I wouldn't think at that price.
Right. Yeah. So that's kind of my thoughts on it, and then if I would, so I'm kind of watching it, and if it goes down again, I'm bar mitzvahed. I need it to go down again. I'm sorry, 5% is what we call Presbyterian.
Hey, what do you call cat? Hey, Alabama's Papa. We're gonna do Pope, American guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Great. I have no
Hallelujah.
idea. Yeah. What's that do for me in the temple?
I almost fell out of the hospital bed.
Yeah. Well, that's because you were trying to go pee, but
well, you didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had quite a few good one-liners, but the best one was when that nurse asked me why she said, Mark, why are you walking around? I said, just trying to enjoy one last day on the old leg. And she just looked at me like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. All right, I'll show you guys one other deal that I found that I'm kind of eyeballing and keeping an eye on just for.
Brian's the king of deals.
Yes, he loves a good deal. Good to see you, Claude Ken.
I love a good deal so much I very rarely act on them.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Claude Ken, hop on the stream.
Hop on the stream. Yeah. The link is pinned at the top.
And the pin is linked at the top.
Yes.
All right, are you ready?
Ready. Oh,
yeah.
That's nice. Pretty.
37.5 millimeter Grand Comp that I have not seen. I know this seller.
I don't know if I've ever seen that watch before. In that color.
I've seen it, but I've never seen it in that color. Yeah.
Yeah, in that color.
Yeah, the rose gold and the brown dial. And look at that movement.
Oh, yeah.
Oops. Look at that movement. Stay on it.
Look at it.
This is the 37.5 millimeter.
Tiny.
Mm.
Yeah. So, but I've never seen it.
That's gorgeous. That chocolate, that kind of chocolate with the rose gold. That's a good combination on most watches, but boy, is that just pop on that watch.
Yeah, and once again, it's got a case design that is going to lull you to sleep quickly.
Well,
Mm.
But yeah, it's got the full deployment.
yeah.
Anyway, that's another oddity that I saw. I don't think I've seen one of these lower than like 45,
Okay.
Ooh.
47. But welcome to my world.
Beautiful watch, actually.
I'm
Yeah, there's
part
just so
nuts.
many good watches now you can find way under MSRP or
Mhm.
in Brian's case, 70% off.
73rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, 75% off is a good start.
Yeah.
I don't know what this MSRP'd for, and I don't know what a Grand Comp perpetual calendar goes for now, but I would assume they're going to be a 39 millimeter. So
Yeah.
it's probably going to be in the 90s.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
I gotta believe you're excuse me, quickly encroaching on 100 on something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, those were here. I'm done. I'm done
Nice.
sharing. That's the end of the secrets of Brian.
The end of the season, Brian. Let's go see what came in here recently at European Watch while we're here. Insurance code. Solid.
That code looks really nice. That green dial one.
That green dial one.
Yeah.
I always thought these were really underrated watches.
Hey, Mark, look what I can do since you're not sharing it.
You can share it for me? Oh, look at you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Now everyone else can see what
Now
you're
everyone else
talking about.
See?
So here's the thing. So the European Watch Co. is asking $19,000 for that watch.
Yeah.
What do you think they realistically paid? 15?
I'd say 16, 16.5.
No, they probably gave 15 or 16 in credit.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's pretty.
Until you go to have it fixed.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or at Ferrier.
We already know where that's it. The retail price is on that in the trash. Oh well.
Ah, what do you do?
What do you do?
Well, celebration.
It's just like buying a Dodge Jeep, right, Mark? What do you do?
What are you gonna do?
It's like getting a new set of molars and having to pay cash for it.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it any better, Brian.
I like it.
The only difference is you
I
hope
can
you're
tell ya.
paying.
I'm not the biggest Panerai fan, but this is a beautiful dial.
You know, I was funny you mentioned Panerai because I'm a huge Panerai fan. I saw this
You're a
too.
Panerista.
It's pretty nice. I am. Not Eastie.
East
Panerista. There was a Bronzo that was for sale. I'm not sure if it was on. Is it on European Watch Co. that I saw? But it was the Bronzo with the blue dial, and it was like 42 millimeters.
Ooh.
And there it is, right there. So it's
Right here?
there. You see it? Yeah. No,
This
go
one?
down.
Down.
No.
Oh, next row down, over to the
There
right.
you go. Yep.
There it is.
Right there. I really like this one. I
That's
haven't
pretty.
owned a Bronzo from Panerai, but there used to be a time when Bronzos were selling like crazy money,
Yeah.
way above MSRP. Now this is like, I think this watch retails for about 15, and I think it's at like 13, and it's almost brand new.
Yeah.
George, I'm about 3 minutes away from having Mark's passwords and being able to hack into his computer and run his mouse for him too.
Run my
All
mouth.
right. Just make sure you get the passwords for his bank accounts.
Yeah.
Now, Sherman's offering all the passwords for 2 dog treats.
The beauty of it is, I just lie to Sherman because he can't read them.
Yeah, but he can smell what keys you've touched more often.
Oh man,
Yeah. So I know this is I still have that fascination with Panerai, and I maybe need to stop it, but I still own my Panerai. I still have Panerais in my collection. They're not going anywhere. I think they do a rose gold as good or as nice as Vacheron, but I'd like to get another Panerai. I don't know why. I've had the 1314. I've had the 1110. I've had the 940. I've had a whole bunch of them over the years.
yeah. Well, it probably tells you that you should have one in your collection because you keep going back to it.
Yeah. I still love the brand. I just, like I said, I just can't stop liking the brand. That's the problem. Yeah. Even after all the shit they pull.
After all the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some nice pieces coming in. I'm not I have a thing for this dial. Is this a 39? This is 36. That color, that coral red dial and that OP, I always thought it's way too expensive for an OP. But something about that dial I've always enjoyed. When I see it, I always have to click on it, Brian.
I know. Look, I think I'm flashy trashy sometimes too.
I think I've told you guys, but the other sales manager I work with, he has a black Milgauss that is just beat to crap because it's just been his daily watch for however long ago he bought. He bought it when he saw it and bought it and just wears it everywhere, everything, and I love it. I love that he actually just wears it. He's not like a watch collector, he just bought it because he thought it was cool and has loved it ever since. Anything else you guys want to look at here while we're on European?
Yeah, I hate people that just buy one watch and the only reason they buy it is because they like it and they wear it and they're happy with it. I hate them. I hate them. I don't fucking understand them.
I don't understand them either.
They all ought to drop dead.
It is amazing when you see it.
A little too harsh.
What are you do?
Okay.
Oh God. Anything else anybody want to look at whilst we're here?
I've found that European watches not lower. They've not adjusted all their prices to some of the market.
Yeah.
The only one that's worse is my neighbor here in Orlando at David SW.
Yeah, they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, which should be David $W.
Have you been to their showroom, Brian?
Yeah, it's fantastic. They're really sweet. They're wonderful. They will. I've dealt with one sales guy there. I bought one watch from them. I've sold them 3 or 4. They are. They're really patient. Yeah, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's an old Jared, the Gallery of Jewelers.
Yeah.
It's been converted to a much smaller showroom and a lot of back room.
Okay.
George, you'll appreciate this. It's in the part of Orlando where one of the 2 Del Tacos is.
Oh.
Love Del Taco. Love me some Del Taco.
Yeah, so we'll go over to Del Taco and then go, and then
Jeez.
The wife will.
I think there's still a Del Taco, Brian, on Beach Boulevard on the way to Huntington Beach. Don't ask me why I know that. And on top of that, right by there is a Wiener Schnitzel, and right next to the Wiener Schnitzel is an In-N-Out burger. Don't ask me why I know all that.
The only other thing you need is you need a Puppin taco.
Oh, yeah. And then nearby is a Winchell's Donut Shop.
Ah.
Can't go wrong.
We've gotten Shake Shack in the area here recently, and I enjoy some Shake Shack. It's a completely different thing than an In-N-Out burger. I'm not going to say I prefer one or the other because if I'm out west, I always want to go to In-N-Out, but the Shake Shack's not bad. Excuse me. Not bad at all.
Mark, there's a watch on there that has your name written all over it.
The Cartier Santos to Cartier Large?
No, just directly below it.
The Tahoe.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Look at the price. Look at the price on that.
$78.50. Yeah, it's good price. I'm not crazy about the Tahoes. I know a lot of people love this watch. It has never been one of my top favorite iterations of that watch, only because I fear that I would just make the white strap and stuff just so dirty.
Cloud Ken. Oh, I can pull up comments.
You can pull those up.
Says has a friend looking for a JLC Master Control chronograph calendar. European Watch has one for $14.5. European Watch sold that, and that was a rare version on a bracelet, and they sold it for under the market. So I think it ended up selling around 13. But yeah, you really don't want to. If you can find one on the bracelet, that's really rare, and I don't think you're going to end up paying more than 14 for it.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm. Go ahead, Brian.
No, I was watching that one because I was like, "Ooh, JLC, complete calendar chronograph." Wow.
On that, on Chase's web, Chase's
Nashville Watch.
Yeah, on Nashville Watch. Sorry, I was drinking a cup of coffee, and
that's a good excuse.
Yes, he has a Yachtmaster 40 Rhodium. Did you see that?
Hold on.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is that below MSRP? It's the 40 right there. You see it, Mark?
14.5.
No, the one next to it. It's unworn. The 2024.
15,250.
Is that MSRP?
Let me go. I can't remember. I haven't priced a Yachty or really looked at a.
It's a good looking one.
Long time.
I like this.
Let's go back over to the Rolex and see what we can find.
15,250. Not bad, actually.
Yeah.
George, are you familiar with the brand Rolex?
I have, but I don't recall. I've never looked into the Yachtmaster line.
Well, the bezel goes both ways, so that's perfect for the West Coast.
Right.
Jeez. That was a 40?
Yeah.
Steel.
$12.5. It was about
Okay, so it's a little bit above MSRP.
Yeah. Not bad, though. I always thought the Yachtmasters were underrated.
Me too.
I had a friend who had the that original with the gray dial with the red hand, and that was a beautiful watch. The platinum bezel. Very, very pretty watch. And I think, I don't think he has it anymore, but I think Evan G had this one for. I think they nicknamed this the Superman.
It's a nice looking watch.
Yeah. But I know he's moved on from a bunch of stuff since he got his day-date stuff. So I'm not sure. I don't think that one made the cut.
And I think Chase has a titanium one, and I know that's like 2x retail. If I'm not.
Let's see.
If you go up, where you
27
were.
250.
Yeah, yeah. I believe those are about 13. I think.
Yeah. That's a good looking watch.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could buy the same thing in a Pelagos for.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, did
Yeah.
I say that? I'm
Did you
sorry.
say that out loud? Speaking of such things, you guys chat for a second. I gotta set something up here.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
George, are you familiar with titanium? It's a new metal.
Yes, I vaguely do. Hey, Brian, how's everything in Orlando these days? Night? Are you guys getting humidity and heat now, or what?
Summertime is here, baby.
Yep.
90 degrees and thunderstorms every day.
Are the parks full?
No, this is now our slow season.
Ah,
Really?
Yeah. So right now we're in the lull between we're in the lull between all the spring breakers and then all the school getting outers.
Mm.
So this is really the lowest of the low season. And then summer is really not all that busy anymore because people realized that this is like, just sitting in a pot of boiling water during the summertime here.
Oh yeah. No doubt.
So there's some good discounts going on. We've had we finally broke the drought. We had a lot of good rain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yep, summertime and I'm sweaty. Yeah.
Yeah.
nice.
Yep.
Time to carry the umbrella all the time. What's the weather going to be like today? I feel like when you live here during the summer and most of the time, that when you open up the weather app and it shows the precipitation and thunderstorms by the hour, it's kind of like opening up a slot machine. You just, every time you open it up, it just spins the reels and randomly puts rain in some hours.
All right.
And then you close it and open it again and it'll completely change. So just bring an umbrella when you live here.
Anyways, yeah.
So-
That's actually a pretty smart comment, because you really do. Ooh, yeah, that looks nice.
Shortly before going into the hospital, I did stop over at my AD, and they had a couple of the new tutors in that I like, including this Pelagos.
You just open the door for OC, something fierce to come on.
Which I thought was really nice looking. It was even nicer in person. They also had the one of the Black Bay 68s, the silver dial one, which fit really well. Those are the 243s that they released.
On this note, Mark, I'm going to have to bid adieu. Brian?
I tooted George away.
Yeah, I got some stuff to get done. But one last thing I wanted to tell you guys. On Instagram, I've been following Swiss Watch Expo. I don't know if you guys have been, yes, out of Atlanta.
Yeah.
And occasionally there's like a little reel there's like this salesman who's taking in watches and other stuff from people, right?
Okay.
And it's pretty hilarious. Just something to watch if you ever get on Instagram. And those are actual deals. And then the guy says, I need 30,000 in cash. And then there's like, 3 rolls of $10,000. And it's kind of interesting stuff. And I look forward to it. It's actually pretty funny. So if you're ever on Instagram and you want to get a little laugh, it's pretty interesting to watch this guy. And
I used to follow their website as closely as I could, but I believe they are still using a 1998 Yahoo store.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Mark, if you want to have fun, just go to Swiss Watch Expo. Go ahead, pull it up and try to just navigate the website.
Well, I want
Anyways,
to first pull up what Cloud Ken was asking about, because he said they have one on a strap. What was the JLC he asked about, Brian?
Well, you know what I can do now?
All right. Everyone in the chats, have a great weekend, Mother's Day. Enjoy your time with your families. Mark, I'm glad to hear you're doing well, my friend.
Thank you,
As
George.
always, these streams are just a conduit for friendships
Absolutely.
and for entertainment. But in reality, it's much more than that. So you take care of yourself.
I will.
Brian,
Yeah.
be safe, stay hydrated, take care, have a great weekend.
George,
Enjoy your grandchild.
George, I know I really appreciate those kind words, and I know how really hard they are for you to say to me. So thank you.
Well, I was referencing Mrs. Brian, not you.
Yeah, okay. Oh no, she'd be happy if I. Well, no, she wouldn't. Then she'd have to do stuff.
Take care. Be safe. Bye-bye.
All right, George. All right. So, is that the one?
Yeah, that's the Master Control chronograph calendar on
Wow.
the strap. The one on the bracelet sold for less than this.
Pretty watch.
Yeah.
What's retail on that originally? You know?
19 or 20.
Okay.
It's not as much as you would think because it's JLC and they don't overcharge for their boring watches.
No, they.
I mean, they're boring Madewell watches.
Yes, they overcharge for their reversers.
Yeah. So this one brand new is 17.5.
Okay.
So I don't know. Yeah, and on bracelet it's 19.1.
Okay.
I wouldn't pay more than 12. Yeah.
So you're thinking somewhere around 12 for that. All right, Cloudkin, there's the answer. Somewhere probably in the 12s. You should be looking for something like that. But I agree with you. I think EWC, their prices do not reflect the current market on a lot of their stuff that I look at.
No. Some of their stuff is, they're on wacky cracky.
Yeah.
Now I will show you one where they are not on wacky cracky, and it's the best price in the country because I've been tracking something very similar to that.
Ooh, that seems like a good price for that.
That is the lowest price in the country.
Yeah, you've showed me a few of these, and I think they were in the like 13, 14 range, if I remember.
Yeah, 14, 15. This is the
14,
one.
15, okay.
This is the one that OC actually likes.
Yeah.
Because it's just white and boring.
Yeah.
With a little bit of red. But yeah, and I know the only other one that I know that's cheaper is a guy on eBay that's got it for 11.
Okay.
That's an independent seller on eBay.
Yeah.
So there are deals. You just have to
sort through.
Yeah, you got to massage it.
Massage it and find what you love.
Did they finally break down? No, they have not broken down and put a Chopek category. Are they still stuck with a couple of those?
There's one.
There's talk about ugly.
Yeah.
Here you go, kids.
Yeesh. That's not good for anybody.
That's even Sherman will look at that and go, it's ugly.
Oh. He'd sniff that right out.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's deals out there. You just got
you can find deals. I mean, there's stuff happening and you just gotta look.
There you go, Mark. There's your next Omega.
I'm not so here's the thing. When Omegas to me are industrialized luxury tool watches. So it's like the gold stuff, like I understand Rolex gold more than I understand Tudor gold. If that makes any kind of sense.
I know what you're talking about.
It just doesn't I don't see the value in it.
It's not pretty. No, it's pretty.
521 Taipei, my friend from Western Pennsylvania. Nice guy. You don't know? He says, I don't know if you talked about it, but is there a number for a watch you will not go over, even if money wasn't the problem? I think mine is 30K max. Yeah. Wow. So you guys know I've actually stretched a few times into the 12s. So kind of 12 and under is normally the playground I play in. I often times will let myself think if I was going to buy a retirement watch when I retire in a few years, if I wanted to get something to make a statement, there's two watches I look at. One is that 5226, and that would put me in the 30s. And one is the blue stainless overseas, and you can usually find those in the mid to high 20s. So I guess I'm kind of in that same boat with you if they're Type A. We're in the same playground there. All right, Brian. So here's the thing. We're coming up on 2 hours. I've got probably a half hour left in me.
I got to leave in about 7 minutes because it's Mudda's day.
Yeah, then maybe we'll end it then here in about 7 minutes. And I got to get the leg back up. It's
Yeah.
It's getting a little sore, and my voice. I haven't talked a lot, so my voice is like.
Uh-oh. Car salesman needs to go back into vocal rehab before he can go back to work.
One of the customers is going to think, my God.
Here's another watch I really like. It's an odd Nautilus.
A bit of an odd Nautilus. I've never been a big Nautilus fan.
Yeah. And there's the one that I was looking at on eBay.
Oh, okay.
It's 37 on eBay or 42 here.
Yeah.
But
great.
Full set, box papers, typical European watch, super standards.
Right. And I don't mind paying a little bit more to make sure that I'm buying from a reputable dealer. I'm getting all the stuff that should come with the watch. But sometimes it can be too much,
Yeah, I don't mind paying a 5 to 10% over the bottom premium.
Right.
When I bought my two Pateks, I bought gray market, and I bought them from reliable dealers that were going to stand behind them for a year or two.
Yeah,
that's worth it.
It is. And if we always try and give like some piece of advice and stuff when we're talking to people, and that's important too. It's the price is great, getting a great price on something, that's awesome. But if it's just the price and you just don't, I don't know, there's something about that peace of mind in the backing that helps it out.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't want to get one and then wear it for a little bit, get some sweat on the back, and the name falls off and it says, Patel Philippi.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of that, hi Tan, if you're listening.
Yes.
Yeah, you pay the premium on these deals.
I agree.
Look at this, Mark. Look at this. Tiffany and Company.
Yeah.
5961p diamonds. That's in Patek Philippe world with the Tiffany stamp and the baguette bezel and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically like your 5-pusher, 3-knobbed IWC. Yeah. It's got it all.
It's got it all.
And it's priced like it.
Gen G says Patel Philippe is the sister company of Patek Philippe. It's just like Tudor. But what are you going to do? Find what you love. That's the ultimate end game, is find the stuff that you love. I appreciate everybody for coming over today. Appreciate all the well wishes. And don't forget, say something nice to someone, do something nice for someone, be the light you would like to see shining from others. It's just a good way to live. But I am doing much better, but the leg is starting to stiffen up and swell up a little bit. Not nearly like it was, but I am still under orders to keep it elevated here a few times a day. Just fucking hurts. I'm not gonna lie. It hurts like hell. But
and Mark, that phone call was, I gotta go.
Okay, Brian. Well, hey,
glad you're back. Glad you're not dead.
Yeah. Me too. All right, I'll see you.
Bye, everybody.
Dude, what a show with Brian, with George Varghese. We had Sean. I mean, I'm a blessed guy. Oh, Brian left and he took his screen with him. Now you're stuck with Lucha. His hospital band. Oh, his hospital bands. Yay. It is Omega. This was my hospital watch because it just happened to be the watch I was wearing when I went in the hospital. We were talking about bands earlier. Boy, the taper on that, it is a super comfy watch to wear. So I am itching to get something. So we'll see what scratches the itch here coming up. I want to maybe do something non-Omega, since I've been on a bit of an Omega roll. I want to find something that I really like and speaks to me. Bruce G, good to see you. He says, take care, one and all. You guys take care as well. Jen G says, just glad to see you're doing better, Mark. Thank you, Jen G. Muhammad, our friend Mo in the UK, says, great stream, guys. Really enjoyed it. Running in the background while enjoying the summer weather. Yeah, that's the other thing. The weather's been nice, and I really haven't enjoyed any of it. Been stuck inside, whether it be my house or the hospital. But there's lessons here. There's more important things. Your health is important. Your family's important. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day to all of your mothers and or wives that are mothers. Everyone have a great and enjoyable Sunday, Mother's Day, fun day. And we will see you again next week. It's really good. It was nice to be able to be back. And again, the support and everyone reaching out through others, I do appreciate it. Sorry if I didn't get back to everyone. I didn't feel. I still don't feel. So here's how I would describe the state of Lucha right now. I feel much, much, much better, but not great. But I'm. Cloud Ken says a different way to put that question: is there a number for a watch that retains its value? I think over 150K, there's going to be liquidity issues. I believe so. I believe you are correct. I watch what I pay. I don't want to, completely bury myself in something. I look at, the future of it, but I just kind of buy what I like. Bye, Lucha. Hope you continue to improve. Thank you, Orca. I do appreciate it. But yeah, it's been weird. Treble says, damn, I missed the stream. Great to have you back, Lucha. Yeah, sorry, it's a 2-hour stream today. I kind of reached my end, but that's okay. In the end, it really is just about hanging out and talking about watching. And then I need to find some scissors because I can't seem to pull these stupid hospital bands off. I do have lots of good bruising from IVs and stuff. I look like a pincushion again. This one, that nurse really dug in there. She got it in there finally. Oof. That's actually the worst. And I'm not like one of those people that's afraid of needles because obviously I'm diabetic and used needles all my life. But when they gotta dig around in there to find a vein, that's the worst. That is the worst. Especially when you don't feel good to begin with. But Genji says, I am with you. I hate IVs. I'll tell you, the worst IV I ever had, I had to sink my neck after the open heart surgery. It had like 5 ports in it, like different stuff. Oh, it was ridiculous. I remember I went to take a selfie. It was like a day and a half after the surgery. I just want to let everybody know that I was okay. I took the selfie and I looked at it. I was like, what the fuck is sticking out of my neck? Because you really can't see, can't see it. What is that shit? Look like Frankenstein. But we're feeling better. We're doing better. It's still a little tired, a little achy, but I'm going to put the leg up. Thank everyone for coming by. Thank all of my guests, Sean, George, Brian, all the support in the stream. I appreciate it. We'll be back next Sunday and we'll just chat watches and whatever else we seem to want to talk about. And I am still working on with a friend of mine and co-worker on putting together a true crime show. And so we'll, hopefully here in the next month, we'll have one of those to put on. I think that would be a fun thing to do. And still, I need to get some people involved to do a pro wrestling show, because that's always fun. Doc Mack in Florida, good to see you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. It was a long week and a half. It really was. I really thought by last Tuesday, Wednesday, everything would be better. It actually took a little bit of a turn for the worse. There was a fever that became involved. That was scary. And of course, my white blood cell count being in the mid to high teens at points wasn't good, but it's back down to 7,000. So we're good there. And that was one of the things. The fever broke, and then when white blood cell count came back down, that was when they said we're going to get ready to release you. So good to be released. Good to be on the stream. Love to see you guys. Love talking watches with you. And we will see you next week. With that said, we are going to end the stream.